This podcast includes graphic depictions of true crime cases and may contain explicit language. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, everyone, and welcome to We Saw the Devil. This is Robin.
And this is Jackie.
And today's episode is our first in a new series that we have called Cults Uncovered.
Uncovered like blankets.
Indeed. And the reason that we chose this particular one for this episode is that there's almost a cross interest between this one and the Lori Vallow case.
Well, I mean, beyond Lori Vallow being Doomsday Cult Mom.
Cult Mom, in the immortal words of Nancy Grace.
Cult Mom. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are doing an episode on Love Has Won, and there were some rumblings initially that Zulema Pastenis may be involved in Love Has Won.
I wouldn't be surprised. Who would be surprised if she was involved in a cult?
We did a little deep diving, and they've been in the news quite a bit, especially over the weekend. So we decided to do a bit of a deep dive into them. And also, this is the first episode, like I said, of our Cults Uncovered series. We all have a huge interest in cults.
I love cults. And I'm really excited for the next episode as well about cults.
We will be doing cults that I guarantee that none of you have heard of.
I can guarantee that none of you would expect.
And then also ones that are more famous or have more notoriety that you may not know the details of. In other news, quickly, Lori Vallow's arraignment is on September 10th, Thursday, September 10th. And our next Vallow-centric episode will be coming out Thursday evening.
Yeah, because of the arraignment, so it makes sense, right?
Right. And, you know, there's been some Lori Vallow news, some legal documents, and minor little items that we didn't feel like that was worthy of having its own full episode.
It wouldn't have been very long of an update. So why not clump it together?
Right.
Like cat litter.
This Thursday's episode is going to be one big ball of cat litter.
From Lori Vallow's litter box.
Yes.
Also known as Madison County Jail.
And we will be doing that. You know, and again, if you guys have any requests for us in the Vallow episode, I know that we've been relatively quiet in terms of Vallow. Feel free to hit us up and make your request. Also, if you have not, our last episode was on the German cannibal who found a willing victim and the ensuing court case and craziness surrounding that. So if you haven't listened to that, I suggest that you check that out. Also, one last piece is that we will be picking the Lori Vallow Lifetime movie name on Thursday with the Lori Vallow episode. We feel like it's a better time and topic.
Oh my God. And you guys worked so hard on it.
Yes. We've extended the deadline, guys. So it is now September 8th in the evening. Send us your Lori Vallow Lifetime movie names. You have until Thursday.
That's a big demand. That's
is.
a deadline. I'm really excited to see what you guys come up with because what you guys already have, amazing.
It's amazing. I love opening my email because I laugh constantly. And again, we'll just pick our favorite one, and whoever wins gets that $5 Amazon gift card.
Not only does she laugh, she pees a little.
I do. I pee a little. Beyond that, don't forget you can find us at WeSawTheDevil.com. We Saw the Devil on both Facebook and Twitter. We Saw the Devil podcast on Instagram. And then our Patreon.
Support brought by viewers like you.
Indeed. What Patreon is, it's a platform where you can financially back your favorite podcast, artist, whatever. And we have tiers for as little as $3 a month. And we have goodies. You can get a monthly postcard from our case of the month. So they're Patreon only episodes. And what we do is we pick a location in the world, we choose a case, and then we send out these mystery postcards to our patrons. We have stickers, goodies, merchandise, t-shirts, ad-free episodes if you're tired of your stream being interrupted consistently.
It helps us take over the world.
Exactly. It helps us take over the world. Feel free to check us out on Patreon if you're enjoying the show and want to be a Patreon backer for as little as $3 a month.
Cup of coffee.
So we're going to be talking about Love Has Won. As I said earlier, they have been in the news quite a bit recently for a very, actually humorous reason. Let's talk about who they are. Spiritual surgeries, 5D consciousness, a man abandoned for dead in the desert, copious amounts of drugs and alcohol, and a group led by a man and woman who call themselves Father God and Mother God, respectively.
It sounds like a good day at Burning Man to me.
Right?
Dang.
So who is Love Has Won? Now, first I would like to just mention how Love Has Won even got on our radar to begin with. After we published our profile on Zulema Pestinus, we received a number of comments on both Facebook and YouTube urging us to look into the group Love Has Won. Obviously, we did. And we love researching leads because so many of you, especially when it's come to the Vallow case, have, random tidbits of good information. We also love cults.
We love cults.
We do love cults.
And in a healthy way, okay?
And we just love researching and learning as much as possible about weird religious cults and sects. When it comes to Love Has Won, just wow. The entertainment factor is definitely a 10 out of 10. But like almost all cults, after you strip away the bizarreness and the humor of the belief system and overall presentation of it, you're seriously just left with sadness.
Darkness.
And darkness. People who have lost mothers, husbands, children, physically and emotionally abused members and ex-members, and it's really, really heartbreaking. And Love Has Won is no different than those. Here's a direct quote about Mother God from one of the members. Mother has walked a path none can imagine. She was Jesus Christ, Joan of Arc, Cleopatra, Queen Elizabeth of England, Marilyn Monroe, every time attempting to ascend the planet. This lifetime, she has succeeded in her mission and is Mother God in physicality. All her children must choose this with her to awaken heaven on earth. Mother's real name is Amy Carlson Stroud. She's 44 years old and a former McDonald's manager. A background report revealed that she was arrested for driving while intoxicated in Rockwall County, Texas. She also lived in Yankeetown and Clearwater, Florida, before making her way to Mount Shasta, California, and eventually settling down in Crestone, Colorado in 2018. Father God, Amy's partner and co-leader, is 44-year-old Jason Castillo. And he has a long criminal record. He's committed crimes in Wisconsin, Nevada, Florida, even Texas. And those charges include a handful of DWIs, but also things like child neglect, criminal mischief, trespassing, breaking and entering. And Castillo spent 6 months in a Florida jail in 2019. Per his family, and this has been confirmed by his family directly, Jason saw Love Has Won on YouTube and then contacted a member by the name of Ryan Kramer to go join in the mission. And that's when he moved to Crestone, Colorado to join Amy Carlson Stroud in her mission. More or less to worship Amy.
I want people to worship me.
Right?
I want to be compared to Joan of Arc.
Lauren Suarez, a primary member of the group, told the group's story in one of their many YouTube videos. She said, he wanted to be God without God. After separating from unity consciousness, he began taking over planets and created dark species in the darker realms. It was all love and light before this fallen angel, Jehovah, created separation. Father God, aka Jason Castillo, was contracted to go down into the dark into all of the lower planets and lower realms to master them. And his lower aspect is Lucifer. Lauren goes on to state, so surprise, Lucifer is Father God. Meanwhile, Mother God stayed in the light realm. And now, for the first time in 19 billion years, the two have reunited on planet Earth.
That's quite the story. It's like almost like the beginning of a really dark music video.
It is.
Pretty metal.
It is. So basically, Amy is Mother God, and she's more or less Jesus on Earth, the resurrection of Jesus on Earth. Father God is supposedly, more or less Lucifer. This group, what it does is it has the duality, darkness and light, and they really, really, really play on that and how a lot of New Age spiritual groups do. And there's a great website, actually it's a resource for survivors of this group or family members called risingabovelhw.com, Rising Above Love Has Won. From the website, it says, again, further just describing their belief system, okay? Because there's a lot to unpack here.
Oh boy, is it unpacking.
Followers of Love Has Won believe that God is a woman and that she has returned to Earth in human form to save humanity from dark forces known as the Cabal. Amy Carlson, who disciples call her Mother God, does this with the help of Jason Castillo, Father God, as well as her spiritual guides. Now, who are these spiritual guides, you might ask?
Oh, no.
Well, let's see. We have deceased comedian Robin Williams, Saint Germain, whom she talks to apparently out loud quite often, and also the First Contact ground crew team. Her followers, the members, are called the First Contact Ground Crew Team.
Okay, Helen Hunt.
And they are more or less the ones that you may see on the Facebook or YouTube lives. Usually there's 2 to 3 to 4 members who sit and they'll listen to a phone call or play it by Mother God. Mother God herself, Amy, doesn't ever really do lives anymore, ever. You never see her.
I'm so disappointed by this.
All of these members warn that ascension is imminent, and when Amy finally brings in the new earth, those who refuse to recognize her as God will be recycled into the sun.
Oh my God, how do you get recycled in the sun? I'm so scared. Is that like when the sun goes supernova and then your cult gets swallowed up by the sun god?
We don't know. Only the 144,000 who worship her, does that number sound familiar?
It does.
Will be allowed to live on the new earth, known as 5D. It is said that when Amy ascends, she will do so via a starship or a portal in the ocean.
Oh, wow, this is sounding so sci-fi and adventurous. I'm like excited for this story. I'm like, wait, okay, so SG, Stargate 1, let's go.
Yeah. Amy also claims that Donald Trump is her father. Again, Robin Williams is listed as a team member. They believe that he is Archangel Zadkiel. And all of her group members claim that they are in regular contact with Robin Williams' ghost and believe that he is personally supporting their mission from beyond the grave.
So Nanu.
Right,
Mork and Mindy. I mean, that's just like, there's got to be a connection there, right? That was a good show. I'm not going to lie.
One of their big things is that they believe in etheric surgeries. And what this is it's a phone call. And yes, it is exactly more or less similar to what Julie Rowe does.
Oh, no.
I'm going to help you with your energy and we're going to clean it all out.
I'm going to record myself in my car.
Yeah, exactly. Mother God will do that for you as well. For the wonderful price of $88.88. Or if you have a guinea pig or dog or cat that's looking a little dark these days, they'll do your pet for $22.22.
Why these double-digit numbers? It seems a little OCD to me.
It's very, very, very weird.
Why not 144?
They keep the price low enough to keep, under that $100 threshold to just make it seem a little more appealing.
All right.
So there's a great post on Reddit, actually, by a person by the name of Snorkel Cat. And they decided, because, Love Has Won, people are trying to understand what this is all about. And they shelled out that 8888, and they had a surgery, a psychic surgery. They detailed exactly everything that happened. Again, it's just like Julie Rowe. It's exactly what Julie Rowe does. They were told that the purpose of the surgery is to remove all inorganic materials and programming items from their body. All of these beings are implanted with devices and cabal items. Snorkel Cat says they didn't say anything about what happens if you have pacemakers or artificial plates or limbs or medical implants, but they paid them money nonetheless.
Oh my God, please don't do this with a pacemaker. You may lose yourself.
So they paid the $88, and it was more or less, they said, like one of Love Has Won's regular YouTube live streams. They were given the story, again, about Mother ascending, the programmed cabal lies, the magical world of Lemuria. Oh, it's just such a mess.
So someone read a little too much Captain Marvel.
Something.
The cabal and all that. That is from Captain Marvel.
Oh, by the way, Robin Williams is also the head of surgery.
Oh, wow.
His ghost, yep.
He does a lot.
He's the head surgeon. And also in the operating theater, there was Gene Wilder, the actor, Christopher Reeves, Leonard Nimoy,
wow,
who Mother God says is Mr. Spock. And yeah, so it's Patrick Swayze and John Lennon were also there. And
quite the cast.
Quite the cast in the surgery room. So once you pay for this surgery, a member of the group calls you up and they basically tell you that Mother removed dozens of pieces of cabalware from your body. And they tell you that some of your chakras are looking anemic. They go through your chakras, and that you can fix this by praying to Mother, wearing proper colors, and then following the meditations as outlined in a set of documents that they send you. You're also supposed to create an ascension guide. And then you're told that you're one of her 144,000 followers.
I feel like I've been missing something in my life.
Right? At no point do they ask you anything about you, your life, your background, your family, anything that's going on with you. It's just a phone call. Here's what's wrong with you. The cabal has planted all this crap in your body and your mind. Mother cleared it out for you. Now you're one of hers, and you need to pray to her and follow her.
Do you wait for the portal to open in the ocean, or what?
Who knows? So that was a really, I definitely highly suggest you search out their experience with the surgery. It, again, is on the Love Has Won subreddit, and it's crazy. But that is actually a way that they make a considerable amount of money.
Do they really?
Look at Julie Rowe. People believe her crap.
I mean, we do know somebody who actually had a session with Julie Rowe.
Yep.
And it was well documented. Thank you. And it was hilarious.
It was hilarious. But it's the same thing. It's the same snake oil, fraudulent crap. And the similarities and parallels are just amazing. Because I know that Julie Rowe would sit here and be like, oh my God, what crackpots. And I'm like,
Wait, really? Do you think she would?
Yeah, completely.
Or do you think she would try and join in?
I think that their belief systems are different enough that Julie Rowe would be completely put off because it's not LDS based. This is more just regular New Age spirituality.
Oh yeah, and they do drugs, so like
yeah, they do a lot of drugs.
And Julie Rowe would be like, "No, I'm straight edge."
Mm-hmm. The group has primarily existed in Crestone, Colorado, right? And we will get to movements and other things, but basically think of Mother God, Father God, and a handful of followers living in Colorado. But how do they make money? Well, they get a lot of donations from members all across the country, if not over across the entire world. And they do daily streams on YouTube, and you can watch them anytime you want. And they basically prop up the most stable and put together members to talk and speak to spiritual points, right? Like spirituality and trying to get those points across, basically sell their cult. And occasionally the veil slips and you can actually see the homophobia, the bigotry, racism, all of that will actually surface. You know, on their live streams, I think we have about 50-50 people just watching the shit show, and then the rest are there to actually believe in it.
And to partake.
Yeah.
Like an actual audience. I can't believe it.
So out of their headquarters in Crestone, Colorado, they sell vitamin supplements, candles, healing candles, colloidal silver, and gold. And they call these modalities. And they say that these modalities guarantee 100% health. They will cure your cancer. And the FDA has actually recently sent them a warning stating that they cannot make those claims. You know, honestly, though, it's really discouraging just seeing how many people buy into it. There's so many people who leave comments of like, my mom is dying of stage 3 lung cancer and she feels much better. Thank you.
How predatory, how disgusting, you know, to try and prey on people who are in need of medical care.
Hardcore. Yeah.
Oh.
Much like every other type of cult, they try to get members who are successful or affluent. Much like if you're watching the show The Vow right now, right?
Yeah.
NXIVM. They infiltrated Vancouver, BC. The acting scene. They got some people from Hollywood.
That's all you need is a face. If you have a good face, you can really drive a cult far.
Mm-hmm. And money, too, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Hollywood, Scientology in Hollywood.
Look at Tom Cruise.
Exactly. If you get someone famous or affluent in there, you're pretty much golden. One member that they have is an attorney. Another was an engineer. And a lot of people look at this group and they just see the new age stuff, right? Like the crystals, the tie-dye shirts, the dreadlocks, the long scraggly ass beards, the flip-flops. But this group actually does have some wealthy people in its ranks.
But do they have the smell?
That's to be determined. Like most other cults, you know, Jim Jones and all the rest, they urge their members to cash out their 401ks, donate their Social Security benefits, and then also donate to one of their dozens of GoFundMes. And even mom's personal Amazon wish list.
I'm in the wrong business. I'm
know.
telling you. Like, minus taking advantage of people who have cancer, I'm totally into this. Like, I want someone to buy me Amazon wish list stuff. Dang.
And they do. They do. And it's consistently restocked. So I'm looking at mom's Amazon wish list right now. And she has all of these different dresses. Because she wears dresses. Okay? Only dresses.
It's like the 1950s threw up in the 70s.
Mm-hmm. She has a lot of like pretty dresses, hoodies, pullovers, sweaters. And then we get down to a luxurious relaxation 5-piece spa basket.
It looks like crap. I'm not going to lie. It looks like cheap crap.
It looks like cheap crap. But that's what she wants. So got to give Mother God what she wants, right?
This fragrance, body wash
It's
stuff.
grape fragrance.
Ew.
Who uses that?
I'm like, okay, I'm not crappy on anybody who wants to smell like grapes on their face, maybe, but I will say this.
No, I'm going to crap on you. Why would you smell like a grape when there's like sugar cookie?
Or like a fig and brown sugar.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Grape. Like a cheap grape.
And no, it's a gift basket that you buy children, like your, 12-year-old daughter from Walmart for Christmas because you need a stocking stuffer. That's what that looks like.
Yeah, and she's asking for it. But if you want to, I mean, we'll be glad to give you their Amazon wish list.
I'm kidding. Please don't. Please don't. Don't encourage this madness.
Segueing into that, they also have apparel and merchandise on TeePublic. Like, we are a TeePublic affiliate, guys. We have our own store on TeePublic. We're an affiliate. We have discount links and stuff. So is Love Has One. And they should be removed in their entirety. So if you're feeling fancy, feel free to message them and try to get all of their platforms removed.
Yeah, please.
And perhaps the most shocking element of this, Tommy Hilfiger, legendary, iconic designer, his ex-wife, Susie, actually appeared in person for 2 hours in one of Love Has One's live streams and almost left a blank check for them.
How do I get her on the show? Right. If it's that easy to bring her in and leave a blank check, I'm like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
And they can call me Richie Rich.
Yeah, it is can you imagine? They've all lived in Creston, Colorado. And they had a lot of their followers come live with them in this like compound / house. And then most of their followers, though, just watch them on YouTube, right? They do 1, 2, up to 3 live streams a day where people from all over the world watch them. There are a couple rules if you want to live kind of in Mother God and Father God's orbit locally. And these are some rules that previous members have come forward with. 1, no folding or crossing of arms or legs.
I'm already doing that.
Yeah. Color coordination of outfits is encouraged, but not required.
Okay, I'm doing that.
They want your colors to match your chakra day color. Apparently your chakra has a different color every day.
What's my chakra color today, Robin?
I don't know. Black, as per usual.
Dog.
So heavy uses of the words get 'em, yippee, retard, and whores. Yes, that's right. And those are all words that Mother God uses.
Oh, she's
Mother God is a
sophisticated lady.
She's a loving God.
Oh, most loving.
Members are not allowed to have more than 2 to 3 hours of sleep per day. It's supposedly, NXIVM, sleep restriction. It's a total of the full control type of thing.
I'd be so grumpy.
I'd be a bitch. But no more than 2 to 3 hours of sleep per day. They limit their food intake because sleeping and eating are apparently signs of weakness.
Screw you. I want to eat. I want to eat and I want to sleep. Mm-hmm. Like, no.
And my all-time favorite rule of all time of any cult is flatulence and burping are encouraged because one is not supposed to hold on to your density.
Oh, density.
Yep.
Is that what they call it, Robin? Mm-hmm. Are you holding on to your density today?
I'm feeling a little dense today.
No.
Tobacco use is strongly encouraged, particularly hand-rolled American Spirits brand tobacco. And if you want to, they will ask you if you want to send them money for their spiritually used American Spirits tobacco.
Oh.
The men are encouraged to grow beards. Marijuana use is a key component to this group.
This is a weird sorority.
Lots and lots of weed. Mother God and Father God dictate all sleeping and living arrangements. Veganism and vegetarianism are explicitly forbidden.
What?
I know. It's like plot
opposite
twist.
Day, yeah,
opposite day for most cults like this.
If it has a face, eat it.
Yeah, that's literally what they're saying. You must turn over all wages and income to the group. Before all else and your own personal comfort, make sure that Mother and Father God are fully accommodated. Don't slouch. Must maintain a godly posture.
Oh, I already broke that rule.
Yep. Limited alone time. You must always be a part of the group.
Oh, now I'm going to kill somebody. Lack of sleep, no eating.
And no alone time.
Just farting and burping all the time, like
in a group of people.
In a group of people
who are also farting and burping all the time.
Oh, it's gotta smell great. So we established smell, Robin.
Yes, there we go.
There it is.
There's our baseline. And then the final one is no sexual relations with other people unless you're a twin flame, and that has been approved by Mother and Father God. But no homosexuality. Mother God and Father God and all of their followers are in fact homophobic. They believe that being gay is, quote, being resistant to God's divine plan.
What's that divine plan, I wonder?
Right? Members are told to verbally tear each other down and to keep each other out of ego and lower frequencies. So a lot of the times on the live streams, you'll see members start to squabble with one another, specifically Jason Castillo, Father God. Again, he has a lengthy criminal record. He is very aggressive. And there's one poor member named John, and he is a clear center of a lot of abuse. And this is actually one of the more and we've laughed, right, at a lot of their beliefs because they're so ridiculous. But there's one particular member named John who is just getting this constantly. Mother God and Father God have all of these followers to do all of their bidding, like all of it. Everything from back rubs, foot rubs, do all of their errands, all of their shopping, clothe them, literally feed them grapes.
That's sick.
So the kid John is constantly in trouble. And once, the video now on YouTube has no sound, but in the original version, he accidentally brought the wrong Italian food. She wanted Olive Garden, damn it.
I like Olive Garden.
And John brought her the wrong thing. And so Mother God and Father God were just belligerent and screaming and put him down just for bringing the wrong Italian food.
It seems like a constant for John that they punish him. They make him pay penance.
Constant atonement for his sins against Mother God. In another video, he had to set 30-minute alarms all through the night because he had to check on Amy every 30 minutes. On Mother God, every 30 minutes. So in early September, the group actually left Crestone, Colorado, and headed to Hawaii on the island of Kauai, which does that island sound familiar?
Wow.
Yet again. Amy rented a home, and 7 other members would later join her to live there. This is where they've been operating out of for about a little over the last month. And most of their live streams have come from there. And they just recently actually put out a call this last week for all of their followers to join them in Hawaii. People speculate that there's a very certain reason of why they left Crestone, Colorado. And we will get to that in a moment. Okay. Let's just talk about the last month that they held on Hawaii. So the live streams have continued. And the weird part about it is that Mother God is never on the live streams. She'll occasionally put up a 2-minute video, or what they'll do is they'll take a picture of her and use that picture as the YouTube thumbnail. And you can see over the last couple of years, she has deteriorated from beautiful new age, like, for lack of a better description, just like a hippie chick, flowing beautiful dresses, beautiful skin. She literally looks like she's out of a crack house right now. She's looking very, very, very bad. And I think, honestly, a lot of the members realize that. And so Mother God isn't even the face of the organization anymore. So what they'll do is Mother God will call them, and then they will play it on speakerphone for their live streams. In one video, which they actually published on their own freaking YouTube, Jason Castillo, Father God, can be seen bringing Mother God her, quote, medicine. And her medicine was actually a few shots of tequila.
Me too, I need medicine.
Right.
I'm in dire need of my medicine. Oh.
That's actually a lot of members said that what made them believe that Amy Stroud was Mother God is the fact that she can outdrink anyone. That one night she drank 24 shots of tequila in a row.
Is that really a crowning achievement, though?
No. She drinks concentrated THC. Wow. Like, drinks it concentrated. She will drink tequila like it's water, and everyone holds her to the standard that because she can out-drunk and out-high everyone, she must be God.
I'm actually just confused of what actually dark possession she's a part of.
I think like Keith Richards or other people must be like, I don't even know. They must be the actual gods of this world per that. So they've been just chilling on Hawaii for a little while, doing their lives, abusing their members, and
getting messed up.
Overall, just like getting really, really, really messed up. About a week ago, the people of Kauai, I guess they were tired of Lori Vallow shit, and they're like, we're not going to take this cult stuff anymore. And they started camping outside their rental house. And they smashed the windows on their rental home.
Heck yeah.
Over this last weekend. They started camping on the beach. Now, the rental house was on the beach, like 30 feet from the actual ocean. And so they would build bonfires underneath the house on the beach and let all that smoke go up through the house, trying to smoke them out, literally.
Wow. Well, I'm sure that had no effect. They were already smoked out.
And yeah, they've been constantly protesting. The group has been fairly quiet, except for Amy Mother God did come out and scream, "I'm Pele, bitch," and "fuck you, whores," as all the protesters were surrounding the beach. You see, not only is she Mother God, somehow during her time during Hawaii in the last month, she also became Pele. And per Guru Mag, cult member Peter Daglish commented during one of the group's live streams this last week that the local Hawaiians protesting were, quote, possessed with witchcraft and voodoo.
Ooh.
And they were saying that they were in denial that Pele had returned as Amy Carlson Stroud. Another member said that the local Hawaiians did not take care of the island, so Pele has to return to correct this.
Can you tell me who Pele is?
So if you want to know exactly how offensive this is, Mother God claimed, now this literal drug addict, alcoholic, cult leader went to Hawaii in a very, very, very spiritual and cultural center and said that she was the creator of the Hawaiian Islands, that Pele is the goddess of fire and volcanoes, and because of that, the creator of Hawaii.
She's not even the creator of Hawaiian Punch, okay?
No, she wishes she could even do that. So yeah, the people of Hawaii have been very, very offended and upset, and good for them. Good for them. So lots of widespread protests over the last week. The newspaper, the Honolulu Civil Beat, called the Crestone, Colorado headquarters, and a man answered. And they said, like, "What are you?" They asked him, what is Love Has Won? And he said, quote, "We're a group based on the ascension of the planet. We focus on astrology, on weather patterns, and mainly medicine. Our main form of work is the Gaia's Whole Healing Essentials. We offer other types of healing modalities." So again, a newspaper called, and he's still trying to huck their medicine.
Their magic elixirs.
Exactly. I mean, it's seriously just an elixir that they make in their hotel room and crappy rental house.
Oh, that's great. I want one.
Totally clean, too, I'm sure. But again, they did get an FDA warning, so woot woot. So we mentioned that they fled Crestone, Colorado, okay, a little over a month ago. And why could that be? Have any of you heard of Crestone, Colorado before? You may have, because the podcast Up and Vanished focused its entire second season on the case of missing Crestone mom, Crystal Reisinger. And she disappeared from a full moon drum circle 2 weeks after she claimed she was raped by two men from a cult.
Oh, no.
And I have to state currently that there is zero connection between Love Has Won and Mother God for the most part and Crystal Reisinger's disappearance. Like, there's been no actual concrete evidence thus far. Amy Carlson wasn't even in Crestone at the time of Crystal's disappearance, so I do have to state that. She was in Mount Shasta at the time. However, one Love Has Won member has a connection to one of the men who Crystal knew and is considered by most to be involved in the case. Up and Vanished's host, Payne Lindsay, was interviewing a man by the name of Brendan Pulver about Reisinger. And he said, "There's 144,000 of us on the planet that are coming together to unify that vibration." At that moment, a woman interrupts and says, "I still don't know who she was." And that was Amy. That was Mother God who actually interrupted that interview.
Wow.
One of the men at the time, who a lot of people think could have killed her, was literally with Amy, Mother God, at the time.
That's horrifying.
It's horrifying. Brendan Pulver was living at the Love Has Won house with Carlson and about a dozen other members at the time of this interview. He was a member of the cult and very, very close to the inner circle of those who were believed to be responsible for her death and rape and murder, potential murder. And according to several inside people, the Love Has Won crew shares the same meth and drug circles, unfortunately, that Crystal Reisinger did as well.
That sounds about right, to be honest. So you get yourself in kind of a mess like that with a cult like this and the hippie drum circles and all that.
Yeah, a lot of the same dealers, frequent it, and
it's a small crowd. You'd be surprised. It's actually a small world out there.
Mm-hmm. It really is. A lot of people believe that there's some sort of connection to Crystal and Love Has Won. Again, nothing completely concrete yet, but that's still, a big deal. Then there's the case. Now, if you look up Love Has Won, one of the very, very, very first articles that will come up is an article from Guru magazine, and it's called Crestone Cult Love Has Won Leaves Man to Die in Desert. This is a really, really, really great article, and it was actually written, and then immediately, Mother and Father God left Crestone. So a lot of people are attributing this article, which was written by Bo Schofield on July 23rd, to be the reason that they left Crestone and went to Hawaii. Basically, what the article states is that a man by the name of Alex Whitten, he was married, he had a beautiful wife, he had a 6-figure job, he had kids and a nice big house. And he started to watch Love Has Won's live streams, and he did so for about 6 weeks. And his wife went on record and basically talked about how he was a great husband, and then all of a sudden he stumbled across Love Has Won. He would leave lunch to go watch a live stream. He would, the family would be spending time together, and he would just gotta go watch a live stream. He ended up getting one of those psychic surgeries. And she said that all of a sudden, literally between the time he got on the phone and off, he was a different human being. She said his eyes were dark, that he was just all darkness. He just left. He left his family. And lo and behold, not long after, he could be seen on the live streams on Love Has Won and out of their Crestone, Colorado
Could you
compound.
imagine being his wife and all of a sudden this guy's gone?
He was gone. He didn't call anyone. He didn't tell anyone anything. He just suddenly appeared on their live streams. And that's the only way his mother, his brother, his wife, any of them could even know how he was doing, is by watching these people's live streams.
How upsetting.
And he would talk about Mother God and begging people to come join. Now, these dates are very important. On one live stream on May 21st of this year, he said, quote, "I'm eternally grateful to have found the mother. I've dropped everything in order to be here to honor Mother, the physical mother, Jesus on earth. We need you all to get here. Come to Mom and help Mom in all ways possible." The very next day, on the 22nd, Whitten called his mom and said that he was walking to the airport. And he didn't sound right. He sounded out of it, and then he just hung up the phone. That's not to mention that the airport was 3 hours away from where he was.
What?
So later that day on the Love Has Won live stream, the group starts mocking him. They talked about how they didn't like Alex's energy. They were laughing. They laughed about how he was on, quote, the wrong side of the mountain. And Kareem Jackson, who at that point was a very core member, wrote in a comment of a live stream that they, quote, were not Alex's babysitter and were not there for whores that desert God. Because of the live streams and because of his phone call to his mother, they realized that something was definitely wrong. And so they called an all-out rescue mission. His mom, his wife, his brother, and even just people online that they randomly asked for help went and just started driving around and searching the areas. And someone actually found him the next day on May 23rd. He was found naked, dehydrated, hallucinating. His feet were filled with cactus needles, and he was covered in lacerations. And he had been wandering just through the desert.
What the hell happened?
His brother arrived and they tried to get him to go to a hospital, but at that point, he was still so brainwashed, he said that Mother God would take care of him. So his brother agreed not to take him to the hospital and let him sleep. He slept for almost 11 hours straight. And he did end up going to a hospital, and doctors were convinced that he was drugged.
I think he was probably drugged before he was drugged.
Right. Everything else is very much on the down low. I don't know anything about what happened to that. They haven't, after they reunited, they haven't really given an update or talked about it.
It sounds like they abandoned him in the desert.
Yeah, so that's exactly what happened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He would have died. He probably would have died.
Had someone not found him.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's so scary. That's so sad.
Now, another interesting part is that there was a man by the name of Robert Foley, and you can actually find his Facebook account. He was a member of this group. He gave them $10,000 from his trust fund as well as his SUV. Then he disappeared the next day.
What?
His last Facebook post is from August of 2019, and he's completely gone.
Oh my God, I can't imagine.
Yeah. Now, in the case of Alex Whitten, when his family saw the live stream and heard the group mocking him, they actually reached out to Love Has Won to ask them where he was. When Alex's wife reached out to Love Has Won, they told her that he was with family and doing well. And she's like, hey, I represent the family and he's not with us. We have no idea where he is.
Sounds legit, right?
And they said, oh, well, we dropped him off at the hospital. And she's like, nope, bullshit again, because we checked the hospital and he never arrived there. And then they ceased all contact. The only update on that case is that a couple weeks later, Alex's wife did do an interview and state that he is doing a little bit better. He no longer listens to them, but he is still wrestling with the brainwashing portion of it, that he was tasked that he was on an important mission. And so he's still struggling with that.
Sounds familiar.
And they are still pulling cactus needles out of his feet, like almost 3 weeks later.
That's sad. It's messed up.
So where to now? As we've already stated, Love Has Won was kicked off the island of Hawaii. What they were doing is they actually were going to leave Kauai and go to Maui. Well, they went to the airport, and Mother God, apparently gods don't need IDs. So you can still travel, across the islands without an ID if you can prove who you are. But by that time, the wonderful protesters of Kauai had made such a stink that the mayor was like, look, we will give you a free flight, all of you, to San Francisco if you'll just get the fuck off our island.
Oh, I
and
bet
they
San
took it up
Francisco
on
is like, no, take it back, take it back.
So they're on their way. As of yesterday, last night, they flew to San Francisco. I would assume probably back to Crestone and their headquarters. No one knows. No one knows currently where they are.
They're like relocating the homeless.
They really are.
That's so messed up.
It's terrifying. So what that leaves currently is that leaves Mother God. So it was Mother God, Father God, and one of their top people, right? So there's 3 of them. They put on a flight to San Francisco. There were 7 other members who lived at the home who have no idea where they are. And then there were 15 members that were quarantining in a local hotel.
What a stinky bunch.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah. And that's not even considering how many people still follow them on YouTube and how many people are still living in Crestone, Colorado at their original headquarters.
So are they providing these people with drugs?
They have a lot of drugs circulating, yeah. But here's the thing, right? We talk about the Lori Vallow case and it's a cult. Everyone is so enamored by the idea that this is a cult. This is a cult. It was a potato of a man who had, a speaking thing, like a speaking type of career and engagement of weird ass ideas. This Love Has Won is an actual cult.
It has its own. It's almost like they draw in a lot of the members who probably are prone to drug addiction and, Here's
the thing. I truly believe, looking at the evolution, they have thousands of videos on YouTube, and I have watched some of them. I've sampled a lot through the time frames, like over the years of them recording. It really looks like Amy Carlson Stroud had a good heart and that she was just looking for some self-help. A lot of people love New Age spirituality, the crystal work, the light, dark, and like all that kind of stuff, and more power to them. And it looks like she took that and something tragic happened to her. And you can see it. You can see her evolution into this light, sweet being and we're going to play one last clip to finalize this episode. This is a video of Mother God in July, just 2 months ago. And this is who Mother God is now. This is her and her message to humanity in her own words.
Oh my God, it's like her plea for help of rehab, maybe. Mm-hmm.
So we're going to leave you with those immortal words from Mother God. Apparently, she is awaiting her ascension. She went to Hawaii because she thought that the ocean portal would open there. So now that her access to that ocean portal has been closed permanently, now I guess we're just waiting on the starship.
What's the deal with portals? I'm not getting it. And veils and portals, and am I missing something? Mm-hmm. Am I missing the magic formula of living a great life? Or am I just living a good life?
I find the parallels between Lori Vallow and the LDS-centric cult, more or less, that Chad created. And then we have portals, we have veils, we have all of the same.
Healing,
light work, darkness, different frequencies and bands and whatnot. two completely polar opposite ends of the spectrum of religions and so many similarities.
144.
144,000, yep.
Wow. So I wonder if there is like some sort of like primer that they're all getting this shit from. Like, I'm just so confused.
Is there like a Walmart for cults where they can just like throw a couple in their baskets to create their own religion? I don't know.
Someone shopped at Payless.
Yeah.
I don't see anything designer here.
But on that final note, if any of you know or have friends who are affected by Love Has Won, again, please check out the website risingabovelhw.com. They have a lot of places of support. A lot of family members and friends have actually written letters. A lot of the cult members, they're allowed to use the internet. And so people are actually writing letters and messages to their loved ones that they can check on this website because they're not allowed to use email. So incredibly sad. And we've laughed and joked about so much in this episode because they are crazy. But it's sad at the end of the day, guys.
Look, we may be joking at the light and taking a lighthearted approach, but there is darkness within this. And that poor John guy, his life, he's just, in all these videos I've seen, he's so just nothing.
Abused.
Yeah.
So again, that is risingabovelhw.com. And there are a series of resources and whatnot that are out there for family, friends, or members who have left. Culteducation.com and others. So please, if you need it, check that out. We have a really good one for the next one. And also in our Patreon group, we have a poll where you can vote on which cults you want us to cover.
I am really looking forward to that as well.
Indeed. So again, check us out on Facebook and Twitter at We Saw the Devil, Instagram at We Saw the Devil Podcast, our website, wesawthedevil.com, and our Patreon for those of you who want to back the show or support the show financially for as little as $3 a month. That's patreon.com/We Saw the Devil. And we have our September postcards going out over the next week, as well as our merch and goodies for our members. So if you are interested, hit it up now.
Until next crime.